Bible poems, Jeremiah. I am making my words in your mouth like a fire. Baruch, the scrolls are burnt. Please take a pen. Let's write it out again. Shall we keep them in date order? No, just do it as I tell you. I have the themes in mind. Let's blend in what it has felt like to be a prophet in these times. We will have much more to add. If anything should happen to me, please fill in what is needed. Remember, Baruch, these are not the times to expect any recognition for yourself, only times to prove your faithfulness. God will preserve you. Baruch's brother Sariah, too, would be given a dangerous job. Just carry the scroll which tells of Babylon's downfall to Babylon. He must have been so relieved when he completed his task, which was to throw it into the Euphrates. Prophet from a priestly family, when called, he made the protest, Lord, I'm much too young. Reaching out, the Lord touched Jeremiah's mouth. I will give you the words, not easy ones. Nations and your own chosen nation will be overthrown before building can begin again. And so to the weary task of warning of the nation's fall to Babylon. It seems a shame he had to start in young King Josiah's reign, who tried so hard to put things right. Jeremiah joined a mission team, declaring that God's covenant was broken. But all he met with then and afterwards were hardened hearts. It was then the agony began, revealed in prayers of anguish to the Lord. And as he prayed, he learnt to be toughened for the race and to share the Lord's own love and agony. He also found the Lord to be his comforter in troubles. Commanded not to marry or to mourn or feast, to bury his best linen belt in watery stones until it rotted, showing how Judah, whom the Lord had chosen to wear closest to him, was quite unfit for purpose. His gift for visual aids continued. 2 visits to the potter's house. The first to show God has the right to remould his purposes for nations. Then crowds gather as they are told another pot stands for Jerusalem. They follow Jeremiah to the burning valley rubbish dump where the pot is shattered. Back to the temple for the sermon which doesn't go down well with priestly Pasha, who puts him in the stocks. Run-ins with false prophets and evil leaders, bad shepherds, but glimpses of a good one. Temple bigwigs with threats of death, but not without support from wiser counsellors. In Jerusalem's last siege, many ups and downs as King Zedekiah feels the need to listen to the prophet's word, but fears his courtiers and will not follow his advice to just surrender the way of life. at the lowest ebb, we find Jeremiah in a mud-filled water cistern, rescued only through the bravery of Ebed-Melech, a faithful African. We are surprised with hope when imprisoned Jeremiah signs a deed to redeem family land in conquered Anatoth. The days will come when houses, fields and vineyards will be bought and sold again. Much greater things will happen after judgment comes. The Lord will restore the nation and what is most needed, the people's hearts. Yes, the covenant is broken, but the Lord will make a new one. God's law will be written on their hearts. Each one will know him, and their sins will be forgiven, erased even from the memory of the Lord. There will be a ruler, not a foreigner, but one of their own people, another David. The days of building and of planting will return. In the meantime, a letter to the exiles in Babylon. Settle down and pray and seek the welfare of the city where God has put you. Your exile will be limited to 70 years. God knows the plans he has for you to give a future and a hope. When Jerusalem finally fell, Jeremiah was treated kindly by the Babylonians, chose to remain behind and tried to prevent rebel remnants from fleeing off to Egypt. His word unheeded, he was dragged there with them. Baruch and the precious scrolls, we wonder, with him. The last we hear, he is still prophesying. Can it be that after all these years, the Queen of Heaven is still honoured over Yahweh? The final oracle, though written long before. Babylon must fall because of Israel's slain. Then back to that momentous moment when Jerusalem was lost. The prophetic word proved true. But because that would never be God's ending, we see the nation's former king, Jehoiakim, honoured at the court of Babylon. So Jeremiah's prophecies about the future will also be proved true.